أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum, guys, for to this webinar to do with a brand new development at Balagh Academy. So before I introduce what this webinar is all about, please let me introduce Balagh Academy and myself. So for those of you who are new faces, Balagh Academy is an online institution that is designed to help Muslims around the world learn about both the Islamic sciences as well as its modern interfaces, given ongoing conversations, of which one is atheism, in relation to philosophy and Islam and science. And we've been having several courses to do with atheism, Islam, and philosophy, Islamic theology, but we wanted to bring together a detailed program that can allow people to specialize over a period of 3 years. And what I want to do is take this opportunity to show you what this diploma program is all about, right? Inshallah, that is the plan for today. And that's where Balagh is coming from. As for myself, for those of you who don't know me, my name is 𝐁𝐚𝐥𝐚𝐝. I am a lecturer of science or religion at the University of Edinburgh. I live in the UK, and I mostly focus on coordinating courses for Balagh Academy, mostly to do with the aqliyat sciences, the rational sciences. So things like Islam, science, philosophy, AI, etc., stuff like that. So that's a bit about me. Okay. So let me explain what this whole webinar is all about. Before I continue, can all of you confirm that you can see a document here? Can all of you see this document? It should say year 1, year 2, year 3, with 3 different colors. Can you guys see that? Yeah, another guess. The rest of the folks? Okay, very, very good. So I'm very, very pleased to announce that, alhamdulillah, after a good amount of work behind the scenes, we have constructed a detailed program specifically for people who want to go down this track of understanding Islamic theology in relation to atheism and in relation to modern philosophy. And this is over 3 years. The first year is basically the red part here. This is mostly to do with foundation setting, right? The second year is to do, with the intermediate level, and then the third and final year is to do for the ones who want to reach a really high level, right? Now, this 3-year diploma program is, there's only one prerequisite, and you have to finish. That is, you have to finish the Islam and Atheism course that we do on an annual basis. So Islam and Atheism is a 12 to 16 week course. And once you've done that, you've completed that, then you are eligible to sign up for this 3-year program, inshallah. Right? So that's the entry requirements. Now, let me walk you through each year. And by the way, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I'll be happy to address them as I go along, inshallah. So if you look at year 1, what we do is we now take the knowledge that you were introduced to in the Islam and Atheism, and we kind of hone on it a bit further, right? In a very structured way. So in the upcoming summer, so the upcoming semester, we are going to start with 2 modules. These are Islam and Atheism, which is a bit more advanced. And we also have a practical component. We'll be reviewing a book written by an ex-Muslim atheist called Armin Navabi. He wrote a text called Why There Is No God. And Jamie Turner will be teaching this course, right? So that's in the coming semester. In the semester that's coming after, we will then focus on Islamic theology, right? In one of the modules, this is going to be an overview. So when we talk about the history of Islamic theology, an overview of different madhabs, this is something you'll cover in Unit 3. In Unit 4, we will study something called Al-Aqidah Tahawiyya, which is a foundational creedal text for Muslims, right? A very, very foundational text. And this is to make sure that all your foundations, at least from the Islamic theological side, are taken care of. Once we've done this, then we move on to further interfaces where we look at stuff like Islam and science, and we also look at a special course on the relationship between philosophy, science, and scientism. Is everyone okay with year 1 so far? In terms of the structure, everyone happy with that? Before I move on to year 2, is everyone just a quick yes or no in the chat? Let me know, please. If everyone's okay, that's Safour is like yes. The rest of the folks, are you with me? Are you following? Yeah. Okay. Very, very good. Ahsant. Good. Great stuff. So this is your basic foundations in year 1. And in order to go on to year 2, you need to acquire an average of 80%, 80, right? So we do have grading requirements here, right? So if you have scored 80% and above average, right, in year 1 in all 6 of these, then you are allowed to, advance to year 2. In year 2, we will then focus on, a little bit of more, let's say, stepping up texts. So these include Sanusi's Muqaddimat. Imam Sanusi is a 15th century scholar, and he wrote a series of excellent theological books that are designed to be friendly for students. So you can start from very basic level to more advanced level, right? And he wrote a very good text called Muqaddimat. Muqaddimat are basically these preliminaries, these primary points that you need to know in order to be able to access theology. That is something we'll be covering, inshallah, in the 2nd year. In addition to that, we'll also be looking at Ghazali's Book of Knowledge. And this is Kitab al-Ilm. This is the first book of Ihya Ulumuddin. In this particular work, what Ghazali does, mashallah, is he very brilliantly walks you through the different sciences and how we engage with them given the Islamic hat on, right? So what are blameworthy sciences? What are praiseworthy sciences, right? And how do you kind of understand the placement of these sciences? Ghazali does that very effectively in the first book. Of course, we'll be updating some things because Ghazali wrote this text about 1,000 years ago, right? So some of the understandings of science that he had in his time don't necessarily, map onto our understanding of science today. But in large, the general framework is familiar, right? So that's in the first 2 units of the 2nd year. In the next 2 units, which will be in the spring of this year, we'll be looking at philosophy of religion and philosophy of science. So philosophy of religion will be taught by Jamie Turner, and I'll be teaching philosophy of science. So these are now dedicated programs, what these fields are on their own terms, right? Because we feel that there are 2 main areas through which new atheism is juxtaposing itself with Islam. One is through scientific developments, and the other is through philosophical developments. And the 2 most important fields from the philosophical side are philosophy of religion and philosophy of science, okay? And finally, in the last 2 units of year 2, these 2 courses are being designed and developed by Jamie Turner and Zafar Chaudhry. So all of us want to make sure that we have a very detailed understanding of Islamic metaphysics, right? And this is mostly to do with Aqidah stuff, right? So how do we understand the nature of Allah? How do we understand the attributes of Allah? How do we understand the internal debates among Muslims when it comes to metaphysical issues? And then we do the same thing when it comes to epistemology, right? Is reason and revelation the only way through which we can understand Allah, right? How does the fitrah play a role? Those conversations are discussed in these 2 modules. Is everyone clear about the overview of year 2? Does that make sense? Everyone happy with that? Hana's like, yes. The rest of the folks, are you with me? Please do type in yes or no in the chat. This way I know whether you've registered what I've said or not, because I can't see anyone. All of you can see me. So responses would be great. All right, perfect. Awesome. Very, very good, mashallah. Great. So that's in year 2. Sadia, don't worry. As long as you're responding, I'm happy, inshallah. And we will have a recording for this so you can watch it later on, inshallah. Right? Now, in year 3, this is where we have now a very, very what's it called, extensive look into some of the points that we reviewed in the first 2 years, right? Imam Sanusi, as I told you, is a very prominent theologian, and he wrote an excellent series of texts. One of them is al-Barahin, right? And this text will be taught over a period of 2 modules because of its vast nature and because there are many commentaries on this particular text. So to make it easier for the students, we're going to be dividing this over 2 courses, inshallah. So that'll be a detailed look about all the different conversations in Islamic theology at a pretty substantial level. In the spring of the 3rd year, we'll be looking at 2 contemporary texts, one written by a Muslim scholar, one written by a Christian scholar. Zafar Chaudhry, who is an instructor at Al-Balagh Academy, he wrote the book called Islamic Theology and the Problem of Evil, right? And I think it's one of the finest texts on the problem of evil from the Islamic standpoint, mashallah, right? And Zafar will go through all the different issues related to this point, right? For example, how do we respond? to the problem of evil? How have Muslims responded to this, right? What about animals? Well, animals go through suffering, animals go through pain. Will Allah, give them some kind of recompense? Yay or nay, right? And then finally, in the second book, Where the Conflict Really Lies, Alvin Plantinga, for those of you who don't know, is one of the top scholars in philosophy of religion. He wrote a phenomenal book in 2012 called Where the Conflict Really Lies. And it is a great overview of how different subject matters can be intersected with theology, be they quantum mechanics, be they evolution, etc., etc. So this is a very, very good discussion about science and religion at a very, very high level, right? So it's a very, very great text. And then finally, once we finish all of this, the last 2 units are very practical. So one of the reasons why atheism has become such a hot topic is because of primarily of one individual, Richard Dawkins. Do all of you know Richard Dawkins? Have you heard of this name? Yay or nay? Let me know in the chat. I'm assuming most of you have heard of Richard Dawkins, right? So he wrote this book called The God Delusion. It was translated into multiple languages, right? And so we will actually be reviewing this text argument by argument by argument to show you how we can look at this once you have all these courses behind you. And you'll see how weak of a book it really is, right? And then finally, right? The last unit is to do with da'wah skills. So it's great you have knowledge, right? Inshallah, you will go through all of this if you are interested. But then how do you convey that? How do you articulate that, right? So the last module will be all about how do you know what to say, when to say, and who to say it. And so we will bring in, inshallah, people who are, who have, this is their specialization. They do da'wah full-time, right? What are the do's and don'ts of this, both from, the on the streets as well as in academia, and we'll hopefully provide you with an overview of the entire thing, inshallah ta'ala, right? So is that okay with everyone? Everyone happy with that? That this is the 3-year program that we have. And I'm very, very happy that we now have a very strong program and a clear direction and a clear level of progression for all of you who are interested. So this is a 3-year diploma program. I mean, tentatively, we're calling it Islam, Science, and Atheism, so if you want to call it that, right? But this is a very, very integrated program that connects Islamic theology. You can see there's a theology component in each of these, number one. There's a philosophy component in each of these, and there's a science and religion component in each of these, right? So if you look at Unit 1, these two are theology. This is atheism, which is philosophy and science and religion, right? If you look at Year 2, theology, right? Philosophy of religion, right? There's science, and that's a mix of philosophy and theology, right? If you look at Year 3, theology, right? Islamic theology, problem of evil, conflict, philosophy, science and religion, and then these are more practical skills, right? So this is the overview of the program. Now, we have not yet developed the links for all the modules, but we have at the moment website links for the first 2, for which the registrations are open. It is to this I will now turn to, inshallah. Have a look. Can you guys confirm that you can see a website called, well, let's start with this, Advanced Studies in Islam and Atheism? Can you guys see this website? Just a quick yes or no? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the first unit of this program. Registrations are open, and you can see here, Sadia, because you asked for the timing, right? So look here. It's on Saturdays, 2 to 3 p.m. London time. 1 hour, 12 hours. And it's what's it called? The price is here. So you can either pay in 4 installments or you can pay in full. It's 60 quid. We do have scholarships as well. So we don't want you to pay for everything in one go. It's modular by design, right? It's modular by design. So once you finish the first 2 modules, you can then pay again for the next 2 modules, and on and on and on. Otherwise, it'll be too much in one go. Yeah, it'll be too much in one go. In this particular module, you can see here that we have a variety of topics that we'll be covering. This will be taught by myself, by the way. I'll be teaching this, inshallah. So we'll look at various things that we've looked at. For example, how atheists attack, universe from nothing, multiverses, evolution, problem, evil, right? And then I will also introduce you to 3 different arguments for God's existence: the design argument, the kalam argument, the contingency argument, right? And we'll also look at least in a very simple way for now, is the relationship between science, naturalism, and scientism, as well as the problem of evil, right? So this is a lot more of a detailed look, as you can see, right? Now, this is the first unit. Is everyone okay with the first one? Everyone happy with that? The first one? Just a quick yay or nay. Hanad's like, yes. The rest of the folks, are you with me? Very good. Okay. And then the second unit is this reviewing this text, Armin Navabi, Why There Is No God. Actually, let me show you so you can clearly see which book I'm talking about. Have any of you seen this book? Why There Is No God? Have any of you seen this text? So this text, when it was first published, it literally went wildfire. It's a very thin book. It's a very thin book. It's written by an ex-Muslim, right? And I think that's part of the reason. And that's why it probably got famous a lot. Richard Dawkins even publicly kind of announced this text. So we'll be reviewing this inshallah together here. We'll actually be reviewing this. So what we realized was it's great that we're doing a lot of academic courses, but how then do you deal with this practically? This is the part we're trying to connect you with. So Jamie Turner will be the course instructor here. He'll walk you through the different chapters in this text. He'll walk you through them, inshallah, right? So he will introduce the different problem statements inside this text, as well as how you can respond to them or articulate a defense against them, right? So you can see that this module is not just like up in the air. We're actually dealing with real-time texts in the contemporary period, okay? And again, you can find all the details in the link. Admin team, if you can, please share the links for both in the text. So that's the timing here. So you've got Saturdays, 3 to 4 p.m. So I think this is so I think this is 2 to 3 p.m. and this one is 3 to 4 p.m. 1 hour, and again I think the same pricing structure. Okay. Is everyone happy with that? Yep. Everyone happy with that in terms of at least getting the info about these two courses? Yeah. Is that clear? Right. Does that make sense, everyone? Just a quick yes or no in the chat. Okay. Very, very good. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, so you can now ask your questions. This was just me introducing everything here for you. Yes, Osma. So okay, so let me before I address any questions, let me first summarize everything. The aim of this 3-year program is to really give you all the skills you need to be able to address contemporary concerns from the tradition. Okay. And we're trying to walk you through from the foundation level up to a more advanced level. This doesn't mean, once you do this, khalas, you have everything. No, study, you can keep on studying. In Kalam, for example, in theology, you can keep on studying even after Imam Sanusi. There are many, many more texts you can do afterwards, right? But what we hope this achieves is literacy, that it allows you to understand the different conversation points in these disciplines. And then number 2, how to connect them together as well. So that's the intent behind this program. And I really, really hope that this encourages all of you to at least think about it, if you don't sign up for it. I'm now happy to answer any questions that you may have. So we have a question here. Do these 2 units run simultaneously? Yes, Osman. So every semester has 2 units that run in parallel, right? So let me go back to the Microsoft Word document here. So if you see here, Osman, can you see this document? Osman, I'm asking you because you asked this question. It should say year 1, year 2, year 3. Can you see this document, Osman? Just let me know yes or no in the chat. Yeah. So if you see here, in this semester, we have these 2, right? In the next semester, these 2 run in parallel. And the summer semester, these 2 run in parallel. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you have 2 units in parallel, right? In parallel. And that is to kind of make sure that you're staying on top, tippy toe, right? About this for I thought it was discounted. My pleasure. My pleasure. Any other questions? Are there any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Question 1, how important is attendance? As I can go through this, I am not sure. This is, I don't know. Admin team, do we have a grading a criteria for the attendance? I think the admin team can help here. Question 2, because my other program will clash. So, Sadia, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I don't know is the answer to that question. This is an admin question, and I don't know. I'm just the content provider. I will teach, but I don't know what those details are. I can definitely say that you will have an exam, right? Uh, this is going to come through with an exam at the end, right? I came in a little late. Where are these courses offered? Who are these offered through? Al Balagh Academy. That's the platform that you're on, Sean. So this is through Al Balagh Academy. Maybe you already addressed this, but can we sign up for individual units? No, 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 Hana. So this is modular by design, right? This is modular by design. It means that, you don't have to commit to all of these modules, if that's what you're asking. But are you saying that do you need to do the previous modules to enter the later modules? If that's what you're asking, I think yes. There is an expectation that you need to at least if you want to get the certificate for the module for the diploma, at the very least, right? If you want to take, I think, one off, I think some people just want to step in for one module. You could do that if you wanted to, right? But then that means you won't get that. How many years course? My apologies if I mispronounce your name, Ola Dimeji. It's a 3-year program. This is a 3-year diploma, inshallah. Each year, 6 subjects. 2 subjects every semester. Yeah, inshallah. Good. So for instance, if you only want to do Ghazali's book, is that not possible? Ooh, Hanad, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because the way we've designed it is it's a pyramidal scheme, right? In the sense that in order to get to level 2, you need to pass through all the level 1 modules. Now, whether people can hop in and out of later modules, I need to check that. I don't think there should be a problem, but I need to check that. I think admin team can help with this question. I don't know is the answer to that question. I don't deal with the registration. I just do the teaching. So I don't know about the registration. Any other questions? Inshallah. Thank you, Hanada. Are there any questions, guys? No, I don't see any other. Okay. Sanika, please continue. Just a short course. Thanks. We do have a short course, Mohammed. We have the Islam and Atheism one. So that course is a prerequisite for this entire diploma. So that's the course. That's you can say, like, intro course for this entire thing. If there are no questions, can you guys please type in no? This way I know that we have, covered everything. If there are no questions, just type in no. If you do have a question, please type it and I can happily address it. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay. I'm getting a lot of no's. Alhamdulillah. Very good, Angela. I'm glad that this offers you something to look forward to, inshallah. Great. All right, Shabab, thank you so much for tuning in. Inshallah, I hope to see you in the classes, either with these ones or in other courses of Balagh Academy. And thank you for attending. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.